What's going on, Ultra Buddies? Durian here. This is an Orc Dyna deck profile. I know maybe not the profile you wanted from me, but I did win the last two Galaxy Cups with this. Got a nice Z winner and a nice Trigger winner. So I want to talk about it since it's my favorite deck to play right now. And please be patient. The New York video is coming. I'm trying to make it a really nice video that I can be proud of. So look forward to that, but be a little patient. So yeah. Won the last two Galaxy Cups with this. I think it's a very strong deck. It can be a little like shaky at times. You don't always get everything coming together, but it's really strong. So the plan is to talk about some of the cards. I will talk about Dyna, what it does, how, like the strategy that we're looking for this deck, and then I'll show you the deck list because I think it's important to understand what we're looking for, and then that will help you understand why the deck is set up the way that it is. Okay, so let's talk about Dyna. Now you'll notice I don't have the Archive Sword, which will come later. So these are the two most important cards of the decks. We have a Ultraman Dyna, which as a double or triple, you can activate one once per turn. You can send one of your scene cards to its owner's discard area. So that means if you have the scene in play, you discard it. You look at the top 5 cards of your deck for a level 1 Ultra Hero among them and put them underneath of one of your level 3 double Ultra Heroes and then discard everything. So this is really good because you play a level 2, level 3, and then you sneak the one underneath it, and you get a triple. Ba-bam! And then this arc synergizes super well with that card because if you play it as a double or a triple, you can reveal one scene card with a round 1 or lower from your hand, you discard your opponent's scene, and then you place your scene. This means that even if you don't have lead or your opponent has played a higher than round 1 scene, that you can't play your scenes anymore, you can just get their scene out of there, play your scene, and then activate the Dyna. So this deck is all about this combo. So let's talk about what you're kind of looking for. So at some point you need Dyna on the field. You cannot play this deck without Dyna, and that's actually really important to know. You're going to have Dyna on the field, and then you're going to have a scene card. And then what you're going to do is, it doesn't really matter what you do, like what cards you play here. You're going to play a 2-3. You're going to boom and do that. Boom, now it's a triple. Is your opponent going to be able to fight an 18k in lane 1? Anyone? Probably not. That's right, probably not. So what are you going to be able to do next turn? Now that you have lead, you can play a scene. And then you can play another 2-3. And then you're going to activate Dyna again. Bolt. And you're going to do that. And you can do this like pretty consistently twice. So then you're going to have pretty much 3 triples, and it's going to be hard for your opponent to deal with. So, and you get to dominate the lead so they can't play the game that they want to play. So this is the general strategy that we're looking for. We're looking to get Dyna active, and then we're looking to play 2-3s and sneak ones under them to get lead and maintain lead, playing scenes, and to kind of like rinse and repeat this. Which is pretty, like, it's a very devastating strategy when it comes online. It's very hard to compete with. So now that we know kind of how that deck's set up, let's go through the deck list. So let's bring out the Dyna cards, or let's bring out the Dyna cards because I think this is kind of like the key. I can't decide. We're gonna do the art cards because I have them right here. So all the art cards. Right now, this is how the deck looks. So we've got 8 level 3 arcs, 10 level 2 arcs, and 8 level 1 arcs. So the purpose of this is because Dyna doesn't have a lot of good cards, and so we want to focus on arcs. We want to be able to play this arc, and we also have Archive Sword, which is another important card of this deck, which is activate, send the top 3 cards of your deck to your discard area, choose 1 card from among them, and give all your characters that share a type with a chosen card plus 1000 BP. So you'll notice that this arc is a basic type, Archive Sword is a basic type, and Dyna is a basic type. So then you're like, okay, now I've got like 18,000, 19,000s, and they're all in the lead lanes, and it's really hard to deal with. So that is the arcs. Because of that, we play a lot of basics. Like all our level 1s are basics. We have basics 12k. We have Scene Searcher to get scenes so that we can use arcs effect. Pretty kind of makes sense. And this is one. These two, you can play any 2 arcs here. There's no more basics. So you can either play this one or you can play the arms type that exiles 1 card from the discard. I think they're both fine. It's totally up to you. You could play a power type here too. It just, yeah, it's totally up to you. This one, I play this one because it's armed, which means it's good against the King of Victory, the victory cards, because all the victory cards are arm type, and I think because that deck gives this deck kind of a hassle, so you know what, might as well. Okay, so let's move on to the Dyna cards. I mentioned Dyna is the most important cards of the deck. So you're going to see I play a little bit different of Dyna ratios from a lot of other decks that I've seen. So there are 8 level 2s. So there's 4 level 3s, 8 level 2s, 4 ones that search for a scene, and 4 the ones that let me send cards from the bottom of my deck and draw. And then there's 5 level 1 Dynas. That's because you just want enough of them that if you play a 2/3 Dyna, you can sneak level 1 under. So why do we play 8 8 level 2s? The reason we play 8 level 2s is because to get Dyna online, you need it at least to be a double. So I want to say, like, if I get my Dyna, I'm for sure gonna have a level 2, and there's enough ways between these level 1s that let you put a card from your hand back to deck, this one that lets you send cards back to your deck. Dyna is the same, draw 2, put 1 back, and some of the scene cards let you put cards from your hand on the bottom or on the top, or discard them. So you have many ways to get these out of your hand if you don't need them anymore. But if I draw Dyna, I want to have a level 2, and because Dyna is the most important card in the deck, when we mulligan, we're going to do hard mulligan for this. Is this card's not in your hand, you send it back, and that means if I get a new hand and it has this Dyna, I want to be able to maximize the chance that I'm getting a level 2 with it. So that's why we play it, because this card is the most important card in the deck. You have to remember that. You have to remember that. So the last cards in our deck is the scenes, and this is like where some of the magic unlocks for me. I've seen a lot of like decks do this a little bit differently, so I'll kind of do this a little weird. We'll put 2 up there, and we'll do 1 and 1. Okay, so there's 4 Dyna scenes, 2 Wandering Futures. This is the one that lets you discard a card and get an arc from the discard, and then 1 Arc to the Future. So the arc scenes are good, but you have to remember that this deck, there's a few things. I keep saying this over and over. This is the most important card in the deck. So you're always going to want to try to have Dyna in play, and if you miss this effect, this is really important. If you miss this effect, you probably lose the game, because then you don't have the lead, then you can't play a new scene, and then you can't activate this again. So you need this to not only have this, but also be able to activate it. So while the arc cards are very good, because I can fetch Archive Sword, I can get any arc that I want from my discard, and we discard a lot of cards. It's actually not that important. It's helpful, but it doesn't like get you what you really need. And then the Arc to the Future is really good, because if you have Tide lanes, then you can play this one out. You can win, you can boost up, you can make a big boy column with plus 2,000, and then you can discard. So having the power is pretty important. But overall, we care more about the consistency than power. So that's where we finally get to the Dyna scene. This card lets you, if you have a Dyna, you can draw a card and then put a card from your hand on the top of your deck or the bottom of the deck, which means if you use this card as your scene card, you can put a level 1 on top of your deck, which guarantees a Dyna activation. This was like the biggest unlock for this deck. Playing this card at 4, I've seen people play it like, oh, you played it at 2, or maybe some play it at 3. I see mostly at 2, because people they're like, oh, I want to put Arc to the Future, or Wandering Future, or I want to play some Arc to the Futures, and like I don't have that many Dynas, so I'm not gonna have the Dyna to play this. It's like, well, you gotta change your brain a little bit. You're gonna be mulliganing for Dyna, so you're gonna have Dyna. And when you do it, you get to guaranteed set up this effect, and when you have that effect, then you start the snowball that I showed you at the beginning, where you play 2/3, then you do this. So this is the most important card scene, and playing for them is what really like unlocks the deck. Because also, if you start with a Dyna, then you can play a Dyna turn 1, and then they're probably going to play a draw level 1/2. If you have lead, another thing, you always take lead. So if you play your draw a lot Dyna and they play whatever, draw a card, and then now you have your Dyna in play and you have lead. So next turn you play this, and now you've drawn 2 cards, and you draw 2 cards from this, and so you're looking through so many extra cards in your deck. It makes it much more consistent to get this Dyna, which again is the most important card in the deck. You need this card. So it does the most important thing, which is help you dig through your deck to get your Dynas, and it also sets up this Dyna so you have guaranteed activations instead of just like winging it. You will have to wing it sometimes, but as much as possible, if I can, I'd like to be able to set it up. And with this, you do. And with these cards, like, it's kind of nice because you're like, I get to maybe the next. This card's really good where you like kind of have low cards in hand, and you only have a 2 or you only have a 3, but then you have like enough cards in hand so you can play this one. You'll draw a card, so then you'll have the one, and then you'll discard it to just grab the 3 or the 2 or whatever you're missing, and then you play the 2/3, and then you pop the scene with Dyna, and then you get a triple. Boom. Yeah. So like it's nice to have this card, but like this is what really powers the deck, and you have to remember that. So that's yeah, I think I pretty much covered everything. This is not an important card in the deck, it's just a good card in the deck. These two are the stars of the show. Dyna is the most important card. Arc is the card that you need to have if you don't have lead, or if your opponent plays a scene, because remember, if you can only play scenes that are a round equal to or greater than the current round. So if they play a round 2 scene or 3 scene or 4 scene, you cannot play these even if you get lead back. You need this card to do it. So these are the two most important cards in the deck. You have to have this one, and this one is like if things aren't going well for you, you need this one as well. So yeah, that's the deck. So we covered the most important cards. Like, don't focus on this one. I know it's like really good, but it's not the key thing you're doing. It's just a bonus. And then yeah, mulligan for this one. This is the key unlock for the deck, and that's pretty much it. It's super fun. I really like this deck. I cannot wait to update it for BP05, which is coming out soon. If you want my ideas for that, I'm probably going to drop a lot of the ARC cards and move heavier to Dyna, because there's a lot more Dyna cards that are good, and like I said, this is the key card. That's your favorite card, and you don't need as many you won't need as much arcs, right? So it will be debatable though, because it's nice to be able to play this as a 2/3, get the scene in play, and then not be worried so much about like, if I have 8 arcs here, I'm probably gonna hit this one. So if I go down to like 5 arcs, it's going to be much less likely, and then if I don't hit that, then I don't take the lead. So it's going to be a little freaky. But I definitely want to try a more Dyna heavy version, because you'll notice one thing about the Archive Sword here is we've got 4 arm types here, we've got two non-basics here, and then when I'm playing 8, I'm like 8 power types because I'm really trying to get this Dyna online. So we're at like 10, 14, and then 7 scenes. It's like 21 cards that aren't basic types for this effect, so it can miss, and then if it does miss, you're kind of boned sometimes. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm really excited. I think this deck will still be good in BP05, fingers crossed. It's super fun to play, but you do have to like change your mindset, I think, about how you think about it when you originally start playing, which is, this is the most important card in the deck, and this is the one that helps you guarantee its effect, and this is the one that makes sure that you can always activate it. Yeah, so thanks for watching. It's obviously, I unlocked something with the deck to get these 2 winners, and we'll see you in the next one. Look forward to all the other videos. I know, please be patient. We're trying to make them really awesome for y'all. Bye.